Alright, hello, welcome to the video guys. We're going to be on MALINOVKA for this one in the Hawk 30, and this is an all-8 game it looks like. All 8, and they had just an even 90, and it was just me in the Hawk 30. This is important to note because on spotting maps we want to know how many lights there are, right? Oftentimes I get Malinovka, I get Prokhorovka, and there's like 3 or 4 light tanks, and it's like, what the heck, man? You know, like, it kind of like eliminates the whole purpose of being a decent light tank player because it's just madness, right? People are going everywhere, and there's wheelies, and like, what's going on, man, right? Like, that's what you're saying half the game. But luckily, just me and the even 90, so we're going to have to counter this guy. I actually come to the standard bush. If you guys don't know of this standard bush, you probably haven't been playing a lot of World of Tanks, or you're very new to World of Tanks. This is a good bush to go to just to get some initial spots. If you're okay with the slight risk of being lit here when you poke up, just depends on the kind of vehicle you're in, right? Like, some people even try it in like mediums or fast tank destroyers and just run like CVS in their mediums or whatever, but I have 42% concealment with this setup of CVS in the scouting slot, bounty low noise exhaust, and bounty vents, and so we're able to get a couple of initial spots here, but we didn't get any spotting damage out of it. In a wheelie, you can make a pass here and actually catch people out, you know, that are going up to the hill and stuff. But obviously, we're not going to do that in the Hawk 30. It just does not have the mobility, and it is a gigantic tank, right? So it's very hard to hide, and it's not like the even 90 where you can kind of weave out. Like, this thing is so big, people are going to hit you, right? So I saw the even 90 approaching a little bit here. I know I can counter him from this location because he's not in a bush. So I decide to come up the hill here. Luckily, he doesn't spot me any earlier than this. It's just the way the terrain works, right? It's very simple. He's got the hill here, so he's not going to spot me until I'm like here, right? It just makes sense. But we're able to light him there. Someone else cleans him up, and I don't even think we got the spotting from it, but it doesn't really matter. I just want him out of the game, right? So now what we're doing, I said that looked like a baseball, by the way, because Caliban is the one that tried to, I think it might have been the Caliban that actually killed him, but his shell literally like went like this. It's really funny, man. If I might have missed it completely, guys, but you might be able to have seen it as I was talking there. I missed it myself, but if you saw it on the actual video. But anyway, I like to sit here, guys. You can try to advance. Like, some people like to try and come up to this bush. Some people like to run immediately down here, or I like to do it like this and then come down like this. You know, I get fancy and I come to this little pocket over here, and from this pocket you can spot enemies. You can basically proxy this bush line right here as well, and people that are sitting just underneath that. So that helps to counter that area, and it's basically what I'm going to start doing because I'm not getting anything from here, right? And what I'm hoping to get from here is, like, sometimes you can catch someone that might come out of the bush line over here or something like that. You might catch people that are poking up here. That's the goal. Caliban says, I effing lobbed that. Yeah, he did, man. It literally looked like someone just tossing a baseball, man. It's freaking hilarious. There's a tank in this game too. I don't think it's the one before, the Cromwell or whatever, that has like and I think the AT7 has it as well. So you guys see how I approach, right? We don't pen the Lorraine with the HE, boohoo. I come up and over like this, and then I fall down in this little pocket, like right here, or like right in here. You can actually come down without really doing any damage to yourself, especially if you're in a bigger tank like the Hawk 30. Smaller tanks tend to take more damage. And then I'm gonna poke up here. This G-Sword already knows that this is not a good thing, that I'm here, so he's trying to press me and get rid of me. You know, I'm pretty sure this is is it the G-Sword 1008 that has like the 4-round clip? I'm almost positive it is. And like, he would have been able to probably fully clip me out if he got down there. But we actually still had some guys here that probably would have made him able to take shots, like the Scorpion, but they're able to clean him up before he even gets to me. And now I can just poke up. I can proxy spot the Lorraine. Some people are getting shots into the Lorraine, and if any heavies are daring enough to come way low on this hill, well, I will have shots at them as well. Or if they're like kind of high up, like right at the edge of the ridge line, let me show you guys what I mean. Like right at the edge of this top ridge line, I'll be able to get shots into them as well. But what I'm doing instead is trying to poke up and counter this 416. The 416 is out in the open, so I kind of want to keep him lit and take the chance here. I'm just kind of trying to fling shells at him, but I'd like to poke up and challenge this guy and kind of keep him here. And the other reason I'm poking up as well is because he knows that as soon as he tries to run, I'm going to poke up again, right? So by doing that, and by telling him, by basically telling the enemy, like, dude, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to continue poking, it's going to make him not want to try and run away from here, right? So I continue to poke it. We kind of light him again there. It's kind of weird. I don't know the way the game mechanics work there. We didn't light him immediately, but I think we did. We were the ones to light him again, and I'm just keeping him there because I know that these tank destroyers should have easy shots at him if he tries to run. He's kind of behind this little mound, if you want to call it that, the way the terrain works, the elevation. But, you know, he's not going to have a good time there if I continue lighting him. The problem we have now, though, is that we've lost the hill. So now I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to get myself out of the situation? And pretty much what I decide to do is I come out of the render range. This is important. Let me pause and explain this for a moment. I come out of the render range of the Lorraine. I sit right here, but I don't want to run immediately because I don't want this guy to think that I am running away. So what I do is I come out of the render range. I kind of dance around here for 10 seconds. Get unspotted because after 10 seconds you get unspotted, and then I run away. And it's my hope that the Lorraine will think that I'm still sitting here and not want to poke up and try and get shots at me. It's just a mind game, and now I'm going to run away. Once I'm dark, you know, I kind of like turn back around, making it seem like I'm going to go back up again, and he can see that. Like, he can do his camera view like this. He can change his camera view and see what I'm doing up until the point that I go dark, right? And so that's what I'm trying to do, is just kind of fool this guy into thinking that I'm still going to be here, but then I'm going to run away, right? Because I need to run away. We have lost the hill. We need to retreat. I don't want to be in this area because it'd be pretty easy for the enemy to kind of counter that at this point. We do have some support here, but eventually people are going to come down like this, and I also want to be around to spot the hill, right? In case people are going to push the hill. So now this game becomes very, very boring, and I am going to start fast forwarding. But I just want to explain these things to you guys, like understand why I've retreated from this area, why I'm now sitting in this bush, trying to see if anyone is going to get aggressive like this, you know, coming down the hill, coming around like this to this little pocket, which a lot of people like to do. I'm just sitting here hoping that I'm going to catch someone being aggressive, right? So now we're going to go on like 4 times or whatever. I told the RHM to come back because he's sitting right here, and I don't want him sitting here. Like, I can sit here, he can sit back here, you know, and he'll still have shots. So I just said, dude, leave, because I don't want you getting spotted here, right? I need all the support I can get. I'd rather have my TD sitting in the back. He comes down over to this bush line. He's trying to figure out where he wants to go. That's fine, man. You know, kind of go where you need to go, right? We want people to have slightly different angles for shots, right? So we're kind of spotting the tiger here. And again, this game just becomes very boring. I don't want to push because we have a lot more HP, but the issue is all of my support is back here, right? Like, why would I push if I have literally half of my team sitting in the back here? We are able to spot the Lorraine. I'm so sorry I missed that. But he pokes up in this area and we're able to counter him, right? That's all it was. He poked up here and someone was able to kill him. So it benefited me to sit here, right? Because we were able to spot him. Now at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to slow back down. So we're at 4.5 minutes in the game now. I'm going to come up and actually push this, because we hit the Lorraine, and now I know that this cleaned up the Lorraine, and now I know that this portion of the map is going to be open, and it's very likely because their light tank died and most of the people on the hill, most of their people are out of my range to be spotted by them, right? Is the way I'll phrase it. So I'm able to come up here now, and this is a very good tactic to use when you know that you kind of have won the middle of the map, right? You can come up like this. You just have to, you want to spot check it. This is what I call spot checking, guys. Let me pause to make sure I don't miss anything. I come up like this and I'll go like that. Like, I'll come up and go back down, and then I'll wait 3 seconds. Make sure that I'm not spotted, and then I'll come back up again into the bush. This is important information to tell you guys, because some people will just completely ignore doing a spot check. They'll pop right up into the bush and they'll get freaking deleted, you know, by people in the back, right? You don't want to do that. Don't do that. So that's why I spot check it, and then I come up, and now we're in a situation where I'm not spotting anything. You get to a point where you have to start being very creative how you push this on MALINOVKA, right? I hope I didn't say MALINOVKA by accident earlier, but sometimes I get MALINOVKA and MALINOVKA confused. But on MALINOVKA, you have to make sure that you are very, very careful with how you approach this, right? So I'm sitting in this little pocket. Right, from my view, you can see like I'm safe for the most part. The issues start happening when someone, if you're here, right, if you push this little ditch, the issues happen when you have someone sitting in this area, or you still have people that are over here, right, like in this whole area. Luckily, the RHM has pushed this, and he's given me, this is why it's so helpful to have good teammates that actually try to be somewhat aggressive and give the light tank player information, right? Because this AAT-60 AAT60, yeah. And RHM, this is kind of a newer vehicle, right? So I just wasn't sure if I was saying that correctly. And the RHM have given me the information that there is nobody in this entire area. So now I know I'm safe to basically get to this area, right? And the way the terrain works here, it's keeping me safe from people like in this entire area. But basically where the turtle is, he kind of still has shots on me. And the heavies might have shots on me, but I know that a lot of them are out of my render range, which means they can't actually see me. Keep in mind, though, you can shoot out of render range, but I highly doubt these people will do that when they're being challenged by other people up here. They're more worried about what's going on in front of them, right? So that's why I make this play, right? We're safe from this guy right here, the 416, because he's moved back. We're safe from the TS5 based on where he was. We just spotted him, right? And the turtle, we're pretty much safe, right? So I want to really emphasize, because I swear, man, a lot of streamers and people, because streamers are playing the game as you're watching them, they're not going to pause and explain things like this to you, right? You guys can skip ahead if you're not new to the game or you understand what I'm talking about here, right? Like for a lot of people, this is going to be a 2 + 2 = 4. But if you're a newer player, I want to explain why you're safe here and explain to you a situation where you maybe don't want to come to this area again if this isn't one. So this is me just doing all this in my head. It's like mathematics. I go, okay, no one's here, you know, people up here are distracted. TS5 was now over here when I lit him, and I don't see the 416. He definitely moved because we just got to this bush line and we didn't spot him. So like, it's just all these things I'm adding up and I'm going, all right, I think I can make this play and I think I'm safe here. Does that make sense, guys? If it doesn't, leave me a comment. You can ask questions. I will be glad to help you. But that's why I've made this play here. And now we're in a situation where we can counter the 416 and we can use this little ridge line, this little terrain elevation difference to our advantage. So I'm going to poke up here. I'm just kind of knocking these trees to see if I can get a little extra concealment and trying to make sure the turtle won't light me here. But at some point I'm going to have to advance, right? Because I'm only going to be able to spot so much from here. So what I'm going to do now is actually use this little pond to my advantage. I'm going to run through like this. I'm hoping the turtle hasn't lit me here. It's actually pretty crazy that he didn't. I think I was kind of behind bushes here, and he's kind of behind bushes. Something happened there with the game mechanics, and he didn't light me because he probably should from that distance. What was he, like 200-something meters away, right? And now I'm going to poke up here, and if I do get spotted, I can just pull back into the water. You're not going to drown, right? The way this pond works, you can drive out of it. There are some areas like that. Let me pause and explain this to you guys. There are some areas of water, bodies of water in this game where if you fall down into them, you cannot climb back up. It's not really the case here unless you're doing it like right here, right? Like I know I can kind of drive through this and I can sit right here and just pull back into the water and get unspotted if I do get lit, right? But in this situation, I'm pulling through. The way the TS5 is sitting behind these bushes, he doesn't spot me, and now we're just kind of getting greedy with it, right? I'm going to push in. I have a spot on the turtle and all. I know that this guy can't hit me because, again, I'm using terrain to my advantage here. I don't know how that shot missed. Using terrain to my advantage because there is a little hill right here, right? And you guys just have to make sure you pay attention to all these things. Pay attention to where you're safe. Use the terrain to your advantage. Don't just run out onto flat ground and expect to be safe, right? Use the terrain to your advantage. That was a very low roll. We should have been able to clean up the E75, but it is what it is. I think we do still get the shot to him. We do. And we're just moving in through the bushes, guys. You know, we're using the CVS to our advantage and still remaining unlit by shooting through solid bushes, right? And that's it. We do 1204 damage, 4,027 assist. I think there was a little bit more in the end plates. I will show you. I believe I opened them up. I did not, but I know which ones they are, so we're fine. It's this one right here. I'm wrong. That's the Mannerheim Lime game that I showed you guys. It's this one. I said I knew which ones they were, and I was wrong, actually. I thought it was the second set, but it's the first set. Anyway, here's the end plates, guys. And again, any questions in that game, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. But use the terrain to your advantage. You see how, this is why I wanted to really talk in detail for this particular video, is because I used the terrain to my advantage so many times in this game, and I want you guys to see that and understand that so you can do it yourself, and it makes you, hopefully it makes you a lot more comfortable in your light tanks. 4927 spotting, guys, 1204 damage. This wasn't mastery. I was kind of surprised, actually. The 2 kills probably helped that base experience. Here are the end plates. Again, if you recognize anyone, give them a shout, send them here. Hey, go watch Whirls videos. I always love to show you guys all these people. This is why I use that little mod for the unanonymizer too, just in case you guys recognize anyone in here. 1204 damage, guys, 2 kills, 1275 assist, and again, it was like 4,900 spotting, right? So we did over 6,000 combined. Good game on Malinovka, though. I have high expectations for Malinovka, Prokhorovka, even Muravonka. When I get these spotting maps, I want to be doing thousands and thousands of combined damage, right? And we were able to do pretty well here. And that's it, guys. So hope you enjoyed. Hope you can learn from watching this video, and I'll see you for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.